What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of JR and the Crew. What's up, everybody? We got my boy E-Man in the house.
What up?
And check it out, man. We got Jimmy G. He's back with us.
Yeah. What up?
He's out of quarantine. He actually set it up. It looks really nice. And then we have a special guest. I know you see this lovely lady next to us. She's our very good friend. Give it up for Monique.
That's right. Welcome.
That's how you usually say it. Monique Manzanares, thank you very much.
Manzanares.
Right on.
Yeah,
Thank you
so
for
we have a
being
special guest. I mean, because you know what? We've been having guys after guys. Yeah, we did have a...
You've been having what?
Guys
after guys?
Interviewed.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry, bro. Yeah.
Where was I?
What the hell? Damn, man.
We've been having
You scared me right now.
Our guests have been, guys. Our
You
guests.
surprised me, but you scared me.
Oh, there's plenty more.
That's right. We're just getting started.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, welcome to the show. Okay, we're done with the show, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate it.
Right on.
No, but it's just good to have a young lady.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. No, right on
the show and giving her expertise. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff and get your viewpoints on a lot of things that are happening, even in the world right now. I mean, we do have a new vice president that is a woman, so we'll get your view on that later on and stuff. But we want to get to know Monique. We want to know about Monique, who she is, where did she grow up,
Where did she come from?
Careful what you ask for.
Shoot it.
No.
Coming in hot.
Yeah, coming in hot.
Coming in hot.
There you go.
But not because I've known you for a long time. I mean, we've been friends since teenage years.
I was 13, 14.
13 to 14 years old. We met each other at church. We got to travel with each other in a play. Got to see a lot of things together and experience a lot of things.
What kind of play was it?
Inspirational play.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, that it was about the...
Was it for
If you
church
weren't
or was
there,
that school?
That's too bad for you.
Was this behind the scenes?
No, wait, it was a play
It was
that...
a spiritual play.
Oh,
It was a
right on.
spiritual play that
Yeah.
we took and we
Beautiful.
traveled and it touched people's lives, It touched people's lives
Nice,
and stuff.
My
And
mom was even in one of the plays.
Oh, right on.
It was pretty cool.
Dope.
she was one of the plays as well, and it was cool. So give us your story. I mean, like you said, like you were in the plays with me. We traveled. We were good friends, and then all of a sudden you just vanished.
Yeah.
Where'd you
my
go?
God, I got pregnant.
Oh, snap.
It was not me.
I became a teenage young... No. This
No.
was like
2 years later. No, just
a
kidding.
little bit later. I'm sure there's some mathematicians out there.
Right. No, right
A
on.
few years later, I got pregnant and dropped away. And so I fell off the face of the earth.
Wow.
And then shit got real.
Right,
I was
right.
like, I didn't think about my life, what I want to do. And that's what happened.
Well, because you got pregnant and stuff, but then you got married.
Well, did I? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
What the heck?
Oh,
Do we constitute that as a marriage? I suppose. The Montclair Library, there wasn't
what? That's how it went down? Damn.
Books. I was like,
Man, hey, you see that? You see that,
Yeah.
girls? Very simple. Just libraries. You don't need a $30,000 wedding. $30,000 wedding.
The librarian
Yeah.
was our photographer and our officiator.
Damn.
So simple.
That's
simple.
right.
Yeah?
We had a package deal. No frills.
That's
Oh,
tight.
wow.
But
What
we don't
library
want
is
to talk
this?
about that. But we don't want to talk about
no,
that.
yeah.
That's
Send
neither
some of
here
my
nor
friends
there. It cost me more to get divorced than it did married. Let's just
Wow.
leave it at that.
Ah. Well, then no, because then that made you basically a single mom. So
I
a single mom
was,
doing your thing,
I was, young mom. I was a teenage mom.
So being a single mom, I mean, at the time, okay, everything happened. Boom, you got divorced. You're a single mom. What did you start doing for work? I mean, what was your plan of action then?
So let's go back. Like actually, even when I had my son's father around, I had him, right? I was still a mom and I was trying to work it out. But I thought to myself, I looked at him one day and I was like, damn, I don't love you like a wife should love her husband. Like I need to do something for me.
Right.
'Cause looking at him, I was like, there's no way that you could provide for us and give me the life that I think I deserve, right?
Right.
So, I ended up going to college because college was never, ever
In the
my
plan.
vision.
In the plan.
Never.
Yeah.
My parents were never like, you're going to graduate.
Right.
You're going to go to college. As a matter of fact, I graduated from continuation school.
Damn,
So-
that's what's up. Hey, but still though, you did what
Yeah.
you had to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So, and then actually it wasn't until like I was in continuation school where my counselor, she was like this 60-something-year-old white lady. I remember her hair was all gray and she's like, sweetheart, you're going to have to figure shit out. And I was just like, oh my God.
Oh, wow.
And then she's like,
Yeah, so she just got a hold of you.
And she's like, life is about to get real for you because I was maybe, 2 weeks out from graduating and I had no plan.
And
Wow.
this is already with the baby.
I was pregnant.
Oh, pregnant.
I was
Oh,
pregnant.
so you're-
I had no
wow.
plan. I was continuation school.
Right,
so if I wouldn't have gone to continuation school, I probably would have never finished high school.
Right,
honestly.
right.
But I had the smarts to at least stay in school, go to continuation, and that's really like the pivotal moment where I was like, I'm about to bring another life into this world. I need a plan.
That's
Right, right.
Like
Yeah,
I need
that's
to
cool.
do something, right?
Yeah.
And so my dad, he found out 5 months into my pregnancy. You know my dad.
Yes,
So
we know him.
me and the rest of the family
crazy.
members, we hid it from him pretty
Yeah.
good. And it wasn't until he found my prenatal pills where he's like, "Hey Mo, let me tell you something. I gotta talk to you." Right, Jimmy? You know Richard.
Yep, Richard's cool, man.
And so he's like, "I gotta tell you something." He's like, "So what's up with the prenatal pills?" And I was like, I was stuck. I was like, I didn't know what to say other than, I'm pregnant.
Shoot, they found out. Wow.
Yeah, and so he told me, all right. He goes, well, guess what? You could stay here at the house as long as you go to school, get a job, and work towards your future.
So you weren't married or anything
I
yet?
wasn't married then, no.
So you were just being a teenager living with your parents still. Okay,
Right,
cool.
right. And so he said, I want to look at this even though you fucked up. Like I want to look at it as it's not over. Your life isn't over. Let me and your mom help
Right.
you out.
Right.
Of course, I still had to live by their rules.
Right,
I was
right.
like 20-something years old. My baby daddy was picking me up, and I had to come back before midnight.
Right,
It was like,
right.
it was kind of crazy. It
Yeah,
was kind
yeah.
of crazy. But nevertheless, like it taught me like responsibility. It taught me independence.
Right.
I had to work. I actually didn't even get my license until I was 19, and I was taking the bus.
Wow.
Damn,
And
crazy.
my son and like the carrier, and I had the stroller, had the
Right.
backpack, all that stuff.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, kids complain about, oh, mom, how am I going to get to work or how am I going to get to school? Walk,
Yeah, yeah.
take the bus.
Yeah, they're all scared
I
now.
don't have money for Uber. Oh, well. There was no Uber when I was growing up.
now they're so fortunate, dude, and I feel like they're fortunate to have so many ways of transportation,
Right.
and they're the fucking laziest ever.
Oh yeah, this
Right.
generation is so lazy. They
Lazy,
don't-
dude.
They don't know what to.
They don't know
do.
what the hell to do. They don't even
Nah.
know how to wipe their ass. And they used to tell me that back when I was little. But now I really say that to them. You guys really don't know how to wipe your ass, man.
It's funny because my son will clean around the house, and I'd be like, I hope you don't clean like you wipe your ass, son. Because, damn. Like, at least I don't do your laundry no more.
Does he do one
Your
of
girl
these?
does.
Does he do this?
I still do that. I go
Around? And then you lift that shit up. It's like dirty. Damn.
Yeah.
Why'd you miss that, man? Even my mom taught me that. You gotta lift everything up, man. Make sure
Oh,
everything
yeah,
looks
deep,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Deep clean.
But what happened? Like, so what?
So when I was in college, right?
Uh-huh.
So my dad said, okay, you can live in this house as long as you go to college, as long as you work. And like I said, I had no aspirations on going to college. I was like, what the fuck do I do? Like,
No ideas of what were your
Career?
career was. You had
Hell
no.
no,
You were just like,
nothing.
I'm gonna go.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Like, and then it was too late for me to register. The semester was like right about to start, so I had to crash classes. And anybody that has ever crashed a class in community college,
Yeah.
it's like a nightmare.
It's discouraging, huh?
Right. So I go into like all my core classes, like math, science, English, nothing. And then so at the time, how do I put this? I was doing community service.
For what? For what?
So it gets deeper.
So what did you do?
What were you doing community service for?
Yeah, what were you doing? She's all sophisticated.
Wow.
Let's back up a little bit.
I knew I could not slide that past you guys. So I was doing community service because I was not a model citizen.
Nice.
Believe it or not.
Nice.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
So
even- I
I
would've
had
never
to do
thought
community
that.
hours, right? And so I volunteered, and it happened to be for Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. And so I was like, damn, I forgot where I was going with this.
Yeah.
What was
No.
it?
You were talking about.
You were talking about how you were in community service, and then you were doing it for the sheriffs or some shit.
Right, for the
Okay.
sheriff's department because I had to do my hours. Oh, so I was like,
we
what am
asked,
I gonna
we,
do?
We asked, why did you get in trouble?
no, right. So, oh no, but that's what I'm trying to avoid.
Okay.
Oh,
That's neither here nor there.
Okay,
So
all right.
the reason why I'm talking about community college and my classes, now I remember, now I'm tracking. And so I ended up taking a correctional law class because I was involved in law enforcement, so to speak, doing my community service hours. And it happened to be correctional law. And my instructor was like a recruiter. He's like, it's the best kept secret in the state. He's like, good benefits, good retirement, the pay is good. You don't have to have an
Nice.
education. I'm like, sign me up.
Okay, well, hold on with that. So you already had your baby then?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
Oh, so the sheriffs were all over you then?
No.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
That's why the baby daddy didn't have a chance. That fool's at home just chilling.
And all these deputies like, hey, what's up, Monique? Hey,
And
Monique.
she was just like, wait a minute. There's not too many chicks here. It's all dudes.
Hey,
nah,
don't
just
divulge my
kidding, just kidding.
secrets. I'm kidding too.
Right on.
No, so you started doing that.
So you liked it. You liked it,
So
basically.
yeah, well, actually, I started college when I was pregnant. Let's go back a little. So I did start when I was pregnant.
Right.
I ended up finishing all the correctional science classes.
Oh,
So it was about 3.5 years plus my general ed in community college, and I got my. Should I say it?
Go ahead.
What was it? My correctional science associate's degree. Right?
Oh, right on.
Oh, wow.
And so right after that, like I got my certificate or I got my associate's degree, and I went straight into the Department of Corrections.
Oh, really?
that's nice.
Oh,
So you were a CO.
Like, you're, taking people into the
CO.
cells, or-
She's a CO, right?
Correctional.
I'm a
Right.
correctional officer.
Correctional
yeah.
Okay, well,
So a
what
guard,
do they
a
do?
correctional officer.
So what did you do? You got to work, you checked in, and you did what?
Paperwork? Or do
you want to know what my
fingers?
first day was like?
Yeah.
You
Okay,
smuggle?
so-
Did you smuggle any phones in?
They didn't have Jimmy, wait a minute, Jimmy. Wait a minute. This is how old I
So
am.
this is how they do it.
We did not have cellular devices at that time, Jimmy.
Oh wow!
Shit.
Okay, hold
Pagers
up.
then.
Hold up. Did you smuggle beepers?
Yeah.
No, because then they would hear me.
Hear me walking.
No,
Okay,
honestly, then my life was everything to me because I had to provide for my son. And so
Right.
nothing could detract me or steer me away from my job that I was there to do.
No, you had a
Right.
goal and you wanted to
Yeah,
make it happen
for
because you
sure.
knew you had to provide
Were
for
you
your son.
making good money?
I was.
That's right.
Yeah, I was only 21 years old.
Oh, shoot.
Making
Oh, wow.
probably what he makes right now.
Right.
Yeah, just-
Hey.
That was in 99.
Damn, dog. She's been invited more often.
All right, well, Monique, thank you for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. Guys, we'll see you guys next week.
So we got Monique and the crew. My boy just lost his job.
Why you give me a pound? What was that pound?
Bro, you know.
He's all wiping it
He's
off.
like, no, man. Making fun of me.
Wow.
No, that's cool. So how long were you with in working for the correctional officer?
Jeez. So I retired with about 8.5 years in the department.
Oh, snap.
All right.
We'll get into that right now. We got to take a break. So we'll get into that right now in the next one.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to find out why.
Why?
Because I know why she didn't retire. She left.
No, I did not.
Retired.
Not in a
late.
bad no. Something happened. We'll be back.
Oh my God.
What's going on, everybody? This is JR and the crew. Hey, I just want to say thank you so much for always watching our show every week. I mean, you guys, the support is unbelievable. But hey, you got to continue to share our page, okay? Our Instagram page, our Facebook page, and definitely our YouTube page. And don't just share it, but subscribe to it. I mean, now that we have over 100 subscribers, we're actually gonna start going live on there. We're gonna start doing a crate, like things that are gonna be unbelievable. We have a whole new thing that we're coming on. We might even have a special guest every so often on that she's gonna be good. So check this out, guys. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m., JR and the crew. Hey, I'll see you guys in the next episode.
What up, everybody? So we're back here with Mo and Momo. We're getting into how she retired in 8 years as a correctional officer. But I think there's a little more to that story, Mo.
Just a little bit.
Yeah?
Just a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I really don't tell too many people.
But you're gonna tell a lot now.
But now I'm going to tell the world.
Right on. No, perfect. No,
Well, you
no
don't have to
doubt.
get details or anything.
No. And honestly, it's something that I learned. I shouldn't be ashamed of it because I was there, and not many people can say that they worked in a prison. Well,
that's a good
male
career.
institution, a level 4 maximum security,
Oh, wow.
level 4 institution.
Okay, then let's talk about this. Before you left, what are some of the things that you can say that you've seen? Because you know,
Well, you don't work for him. Just spill the beans.
or do they have, or is there like a thing you can't talk about it?
No. I mean, I can't say like
No,
names
details,
and
yeah.
numbers, which I do
yeah.
not have that great of a mind. I can't
Yeah, I'm not
remember
gonna
that.
say inmate
Except for inmate.
4974.
What about this? As a woman correctional officer, what did you experience in there? You know, I mean,
Right, yeah.
Share
Where's
some of the
some
stuff.
So, okay, so there was a lot actually. And when I first started, I started at an institution where it was rocking and rolling. Like it was a level 4 maximum security.
Oh,
They
shoot.
had just like what's called activated a prison. And it was like the beginning stages of a new prison. And so I had just rolled up. And I could probably count on both of my hands how many female officers there were.
Right.
And I was the youngest female. So imagine youngest female walking into a prison. How them older broads gonna look at me?
Right.
They were hating on me,
Right.
and,
Wow.
and just by me just working there. And so that was something where I already had tough skin, but I really needed to step up my game.
Right.
I needed to be like, I'm here to do a job. I don't care what you say about me, who you think you are. Like I'm just here to do my 8 and hit the gate, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Right.
Right. And so that's
Do
what
my
I did.
eight, get the gate.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that.
Use it.
That's
We're
a
gonna-
saying.
We're gonna use that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Me too. I'm gonna use that.
I can't take credit for that, but that's
I'm
something.
gonna do my 1 right now, and I'm done.
One and done. One and
Yeah.
done.
Dude, I'm gonna do my 8 minutes and hit E-Man's gate.
Side bust.
There you go. Good thing we gave him a mic. We gave him a voice. I don't know if we're going to regret it or not.
Jimmy has a mic.
But yeah, so I mean, as far as some of the things that I've seen in prison, I'm sure you guys have all seen like
All those shows.
prison documentaries,
Yeah, yeah.
different shows, but it's nothing like that.
No.
No,
It's worse.
nothing
They,
like
they,
that.
they
It's-
give you,
it's-
they give you all the sour stuff on the show.
right, right.
Just like
So
they do on it. I mean, they want to make spicy. They want spice it up. We're gonna spice this show up right now.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty intense. I mean, the very very first day that I rolled up to the institution that I was assigned to, just out of the academy, we're in orientation. We're probably like 30, 40 minutes into like our day, and all of a sudden we hear, doo, that's an alarm, prison alarm, right? And so we're
Do it
you know,
again?
we're new booties,
Do it again?
right? So we're new booties and
Yeah.
we don't know what's going on,
Yeah.
right? And so we're like, what is that noise? And all of a
Yeah.
sudden we see like officers running from every
shoot.
direction.
Right.
And then they're like, code 3, code 3.
What
And
is that,
again,
Junior? What
I
is
don't
that?
know.
This guy knows a lot of codes.
So there's code 1, code 2, code 3, but that's prison slang, so you don't know.
Yeah.
So code 1 is like minimal response.
Yeah.
Code 2 is let's shut down the majority of the program. Let's respond. Code 3 is
Right.
like everything ceases to exist.
Wow.
Shut everything down, and we need to respond. And so it was like code 1, code 2, bam, in seconds. Code 3. And so we're just like sitting there like, okay, well, what do we do? And then all of a sudden, you know, a sergeant comes in. He's like, come on, guys, let's go, let's go. We're like, go where? Like, are we going home?
Hit the gate. That's orientation.
So we were walking to the yard, and everybody's just like in a panic. And all of a sudden, because we didn't have any equipment. We're
Wow.
brand new. We're in like the administration office, right?
So everyone's in riot gear. You guys are like,
Yeah, and we're like just barely like in
Wow.
the clothes that we graduated in, you know, our class B's they call it. And so we're like, okay, well, what do we do? And they start giving us batons, pepper spray. We were trained in all this, but really we're like, what the fuck do we do with it?
Right, yeah.
You know. And so we go onto the yard, and I swear to God, kid you guys not, it was like Braveheart. Have you ever seen the movie Braveheart?
Yeah.
Like where there's like one a
side.
group on one side, a group on the other side, and they come together and then they separate. And then they like gather themselves and again, and it was insane. So the
Freedom!
minus that,
my Ireland.
Minus the freedom, Jimmy, because you got to remember they're in prison, bro. They ain't going fucking nowhere.
If I was in prison, I would be like,
side
freedom!
bust,
Somebody
side
beside
bust,
me.
too much.
Side bust.
So, no, they were not saying freedom.
Yeah.
But yeah, they it was surreal. It really
Right.
was because.
Day one,
I didn't expect
active.
that day one.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, and all of a sudden you hear doo doo doo. Like there was 5 buildings on the yard. Every alarm went off on each building. That means like there was something going down. Well, come to find out, the whole reason why the riot started is because the whites and the Mexicans were playing baseball, and you guys know how guys could be.
Yeah.
And they were getting a little confrontational, and one thing led to another, and it ended up being a full-scale riot. Probably like 250 inmates on the yard.
Oh, my God. And you just have
All of them
batons.
involved. All of them involved.
You just have a baton.
And then so the thing that
And
we
you're-
just had a
and-
baton and pepper spray.
You're what? You're 21 years old.
And I'm 21 years
Probably not,
old.
you know.
I'm
Not
not even
knowing really-
a week graduated from the academy, go to my first assignment.
So you're just like,
and code
yeah,
3.
whoa.
And I was just like, what the fuck am I getting into?
Yeah.
And so like 210 people graduated from the academy that went to my institution.
And they fucking
the
quit that
next
day.
less than 100 returned.
Wow.
What?
That's crazy.
I was one of those 100.
Wow.
Because shit got real.
Yeah.
You know, shit got, and was I scared? I'm not going to lie and say I wasn't, but honestly, that adrenaline rush, I knew there was something wrong with me when I was like, oh, yeah. You know?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. So you were like, fuck yeah.
I was like, all
I'll be
I'll be back tomorrow. Still got 7 more hours to do. Fucking love this shit.
So yeah, that was my first experience.
So tell me, did the inmates respect you? Because I've been told that the inmates respect the girl COs more than the guys. So did they respect you guys more?
I would say yes, because a lot of, like I said, a lot of the inmates, they come from the streets. They're hardcore, level 4.
Right.
They grew up in neighborhoods, and so they just have that sense where you respect your elders and you respect women, right?
Right.
And so I never really got any disrespect unless it was from inmates that were, they call 5150 or triple C, like they're off their meds or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
They're a little crazy.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like everybody has a mom, a sister, a daughter. And so that's how they looked at me. I was a baby. So a lot of them looked at me like, dang, you could be my daughter. You could be my sister.
Right.
And so, yeah, I feel like they did respect me. But not only that, like I kept it like legit. Like I was just like, I'm here to do my job. I'm here to do my 8 and hit the gate.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get mixed up in anything. I'm just here to provide for my son. Like some of the ones that knew me, like they either lived in my housing unit or they worked on the yard where I worked. They would say, "Hey, Alba," because that was my name then. They're like, "Hey, you think you could do this?" I would look at them like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, I'm disrespected. Like I feel disrespected that you're gonna come at me like that and you're gonna ask me to sacrifice my life and what I do to bring you what, a cigarette?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no. Ain't gonna happen.
But I was gonna say, is it kind of like the show Orange Is the New Black?
Well,
Because I'm saying some of the behind the scenes. Because
absolutely not, because they were not women; they were men.
I know.
But go ahead, elaborate. What is your perception of being in prison?
You're not a bad looking woman. So what were some of their pickup lines?
Oh.
Hey girl, I'm in here for life, but
You could be the lifer with me.
you can be a liar.
Or some of them would be like, "Hey, girl, I'm about to get out pretty soon, like in 10 years."
They'd be like, "Hey,
10 years, I'm gonna be married to another somebody."
Oh, damn.
I kid.
They're like, "Hey,
No, she's
I
not
won't
kidding.
cheat on you. I'm stuck in here.
Hey, I'll be faithful.
I'm faithful. I can't go nowhere."
You see me every day.
Now, you'd be surprised the broads that walk the yard over there, Honestly, you want to know something crazy?
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
every time you ask me, like,
Orange is the New Black.
the crazy stuff that I've seen in prison, right?
Yeah.
One time I was working a control booth, and I was working overnight, which was first watch, and I was reading the mail, and then I come across a letter from an inmate, and he's like, "Oh, Sally, I really miss you. I miss your warmth. I miss your touch."
Yeah.
And so up above in the control booth, they had their photo IDs because we had to be able to ID them, and it had their names. And so I look up, and I'm like, "Oh, hell no. Like, this, like, he thought he was a player. He's talking about, like, inmates trying to get at me."
Right.
He's like, "Hey, so you married? You got a man? Like, what's up?" This fool was writing his ex-cellie talking about, "I miss you."
I'll read your
Cold at
letters.
night.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That was some shit. Like, I was new. I was
was
new.
a macaroni in the cell. It was a
I
Mac.
barely got a year. He had his little
Macaroni.
fifi.
I like
That's
that.
funny,
Yeah,
dude.
no, it was crazy. It was definitely an experience that I will take with me and never.
Right. That's
So
right.
what happened though? Because I know we have to take a break or what?
Yeah, we gotta take a break.
Oh yeah, go for it.
All right, we'll be right back. We're gonna take a break.
We're gonna keep going.
We're gonna transition because I know you got hurt, so we're gonna talk about that. You got hurt and stuff, and when we come
My
back,
feelings hurt.
you got hurt, girl.
Should be hurting feelings.
She hurt feelings. Whose feelings? Finding letters. So now we'll be right back, guys.
JR
After
and the
this.
crew.
Spring's around the corner and it's time to buy a home. Call Mortgage Masters will make your experience great. From getting pre-approved to selecting the right mortgage for you, our experienced team is here to help you. Right now, take advantage of our First Times Home Buyers Program and get an appraisal waiver with the purchase of your first home. But hurry, this ends March 31st.
So call Mortgage Masters today at 626-833-2866 or visit us in Corona, California or on the web at mortgagemaster.loans.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Let's check this out. We are having a great time with Monique, E-Man, and we got Jimmy on the ones and twos.
Just on the ones.
Just on the ones. He's on the ones. He's on the ones. But no, check this out. We want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors because if it wasn't for our sponsors, we wouldn't be able to be doing this. We want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Mortgage Masters, Real Estate Excellence. I'm sorry, Excellence Real Estate Masters, and also Lending 3. And Eman, what else we got?
Also, make sure to follow us on JR and the Crew on IG. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Catch us on YouTube at 8 p.m. It's our new time. 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
New time. YouTube. Like, subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, man. Like us. Share it. Share it. Comment. Talk some shit. I want to talk shit back.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and honestly,
also Protocol Barbershop.
That's right.
Our other sponsor, man. Thank you guys too.
That's right. That's our little.
If you ever need a haircut, look them up. Protocol, man. That's where
Protocol.
it's at.
Thank you guys.
And we got to thank our other sponsor, E-Man. We got to thank Capitol Records.
Capital Records.
Capital
E-Man.
Records.
Third floor.
5th floor, bro. It's been a while.
Movie.
It's been a while.
Anybody that knows me
Hey, hold up. She threw the call. Watch out. They're going to come through.
it's like the bat signal.
We're fucked. Right on.
No, but thank you guys, everybody, for supporting us, man. We really appreciate it. Thank you for the sponsors and stuff. But before we went on break, you were talking about how you were a SEAL. Now, I want to talk about because you were there for about 8 years, you said?
Yeah.
8 years, but you got hurt.
I did.
So did that make the decision of you having to leave?
Yeah, I was forced.
Oh, you're forced.
I was forced to retire.
Really?
Medically
Oh,
retire.
shoot.
I was forced to medically retire. So, I get that pension for life. Just saying.
Damn. Shit.
Wow.
I'm kidding, but I'm not. So yeah, no, I actually, it was a very devastating time in my life. Right. I was young. I was in my 20s. My career was going good. I was just like, I was finally settling in and making good money. And then all of a sudden, bam, sidetracked.
Wow.
Broke my back.
Broke your back.
Broke.
Wow.
Damn.
Had back surgery. And
so you were making good money as a CO.
Right.
And what made you think that you could be a stunt double? Not just kidding. As a side hustle, and then you go and break your back.
I told you we were not going to talk about
Oh, man. That was a good one.
I got you, man. I got you. Watch.
So
Watch.
It's not a stunt double, man. She broke her back.
So what happened? You had to break something up or what? It was a fight?
Okay, so yeah. So you guys seen all these movies, right? A lot of it is kind of accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was an inmate was stabbing another inmate. Actually, I'm going to tell you the story. I'm going to tell you from when I first saw it. So I was on the yard. I was a yard officer watching the yard. They were releasing for yard, which means the inmates were coming out their building. And so all the other officers were patting them down to make sure they don't take any weapons or any contraband out to the yard. So I'm standing there above the observation. That's the guy that holds the guns, right? And so I'm standing there, and then all of a sudden I see this one dude like running straight towards me, like just booking it. And I was just like, shit's about to go down, right? So I wait a little bit, and then I see like somebody else chasing him, and then I see another person chasing him. I was like, oh fuck, shit's about to go down. Yeah. So like I put my hand on my side handle baton. I was just like, all right, let me get ready. They were still pretty far. They're like maybe 30 yards out. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden the dude almost catches up with him. So I had to call yard down because that's what you do when you think that shit's going to happen. Yeah. So I call yard down, and all the inmates, they prone out, they lay on their stomach so that way they don't get involved, right? And so the dude's still like fucking running for his life, and he's looking at me, and I make eye contact with him, and he's like, oh shit. I could tell he's like, save me, save me, right?
That's crazy. Yeah.
And then
And she looks away.
So I go take my break.
She's that's my 8. I gotta hit the gate. I'm out. Going home.
That's a good one.
I really wish it was that time. And it was almost shift change, but yeah, I couldn't go out like a bitch.
No, ain't no punk bitch.
I ain't no punk bitch.
Fuck no.
So anyhow, so he's coming straight at me, and I can tell like he's looking at me to save his life, right?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And so he stops. I think he kind of ran out of breath. I don't know. But he stops kind of like where you're at. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden the dude behind him, and the third person, he was a fatty. So like halfway through the sprint, he quit. And he's just like, fuck this shit. Like, that ain't worth it. Right? So he drops off, and then the other dude catches up to the victim and just lands on him. And I see him go like this, and I don't, like, I'm thinking he's hitting him from behind, but he was stabbing him. Just bam, bam, just stabbing him. And I was like, I better do something because if I don't, I'm gonna lose my job.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking, let me save his life. I was just like thinking,
Fuck, I better look like I'm doing some shit.
I better, because we had cameras were new back then. Believe it or not, they were new. It was a new electronic device surveillance system, and so I was like, well, if the cameras happen to be on, I better look like I'm doing some shit, right? And so I go over there and I use my baton to break it up. And mind you, like, I'm the only officer. I had a new booty next to me, a new officer that had just started. And he even had like the creases in his pants. It's kind of cute, you know. but he booked it on me. He booked it. He left.
He said, "I'm a punk bitch.
He's like,
I'm out."
So he took off. So now it's me, just me.
With all these guys.
There was a bunch of guys on the yard, but with the victim and the assailant. Like now I got to handle shit, right? So I take out my baton, and no, I took out my pepper spray. Before I got too close, I sprayed him. That was done. Threw the can, sprayed another one. He's still getting stabbed. I was like, oh shit, what should I do?
Yeah, homeboy was relentless.
So I had my baton, and I hit the attacker, the assailant. I hit him so hard that eventually, like, I lost my balance. I fell on my back. I broke his jaw. So yay!
Oh shit!
So I broke his jaw, but I landed on my back and I broke my back.
Wow. Really?
So that's the story.
Yeah,
right?
damn.
So I'm just kidding. That didn't happen.
No.
Wow.
Man, she's a good storyteller.
Oh no, fuck! I'm like, how the hell did you fall?
No. Okay, so
Weren't they on the ground?
It was like me when I was practicing the fight. I went,
Oh yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
no, seriously, no, that did happen.
So you
Yeah.
fell.
Backtrack-
So you
to
fell
backtrack,
on your back.
It did happen. So I hit him so hard that like
Oh, you
when I
fucking-
swung, I just lost my balance and fell on my back, and I happened to be where the grass was at and the cement. And so it was like a fluke incident. I fell back and my back hit right where the cement was, and I dislocated my disc.
Damn.
man.
That sucks.
The rest is history.
And that was it, huh? That was it. That was you fucking done.
Well, so I went to work the next day.
Oh,
so
you did? Oh, you
night,
came back.
So that night, actually, it was March 23rd.
You got more. You got excited like day one. You're like, fuck yeah.
So my birthday is March 26th,
Yeah.
right? So that night I was going to a Black Eyed Peas concert. So I still went. I went, because I was just like, okay, the adrenaline's pumping. You don't feel shit. Just like when you're in an accident or something happens, like you don't feel nothing
the next
until the
day.
next day. So that night I went to the Black Eyed Peas concert. And I had a little bit of alcohol in me, and that kind of helped a little.
right, I numbed everything.
Right, numbed a little bit. And then the next day I go to work, and I had to work an observation. So I put about 40 pounds of equipment on my back with a bag.
Oh, so you were just like.
And then so I was walking up the stairs, and all of a sudden I couldn't lift my leg. And I just felt sharp pain in my leg, in my back. And I just fell to my knees, and I was thinking to myself, man, I'm going to go out like this. This sucks.
Wow.
Like, but you can't be too proud, right? And
Right,
so
right.
I knew I was hurt. I knew I wasn't gonna get up. I knew that, like that was it. I had to ask somebody for help, and so I called on my radio because I was in what they call a sally port, where both doors where I exited or where I entered and where I exited, they were both shut. So I had to call for somebody to come and get me.
Right.
Wow.
So
That's crazy, man.
That is
sucks.
crazy.
that was last day.
Well, I mean, and after that, you decided you went to what, rehab, and did you get surgery or anything like that?
Yeah, so for a year later, like actually they did an X-ray and they were like, okay, you're fine. Let me just send you to physical therapy, right? It's all bullshit.
Like nothing's wrong.
And then they're like, oh, well, what drugs do you want to take? Because this is before the opioid epidemic. They're like, what drugs do you want? Whatever you have chronic pain, whatever you need, we'll give you. So they were just shoveling medication to me, just shoveling it like it was nothing, right? And so, so I took Oxycontin, I took Norco, I took Vicodin, I took all this stuff that they were just giving me in the beginning.
Just to
And
hide it, pretty much.
And then so a year later, they're like, oh, well, you're still in pain. Well, let's do an MRI. And then 2 weeks later, I was in surgery.
Wow.
Yeah, you just couldn't take it anymore.
Fortunate enough that you didn't lose, your legs, because you
Right?
maybe you would have stopped walking or
so
been paralyzed.
true
You know what I mean?
story. So the doctor tells me if you wouldn't have come, if you would have eventually had your spine severed, because it was where my bone was on bone and it was rubbing against my spine.
Wow.
And so so that's why they decided to do surgery right away.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was.
Dude,
It
that
really
sucks.
was, and I just thank God that just right place, right time kind of thing. I
Right,
just happened
right.
to go to that doctor. He happened to see what was wrong, and he was able to prevent something worse happening. So.
No, and at that moment, you were just in your life like, you got to change everything now.
Oh yeah, I complete 180.
Yeah, you have to change
Or
everything.
360.
Well, we don't really do
That's
math
neither
around
here
here.
nor-
Yeah, we'll do
Neither here nor there.
Why are you making me go to school right now?
I thought we left that in the past. We're grown up. We don't
I know.
Regardless, I went like this. And I was like,
She did one of these.
what do I do now? What do I want to do in my life?
Right,
What do I want to do in my life?
At that moment, did you just have your one son, or did you have a daughter now?
I had my daughter. So
I
my
see, you had a
daughter
daughter,
was
too.
like barely 2 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, I was remarried. Yes, I was remarried.
Right.
And I had my son and my daughter, and so now I'm like, what do I do?
And on that note, so you were obviously in rehab and all that, but did the sheriff department or you sheriff department, right?
No.
Well,
The state of California.
okay.
State, yeah.
So did they take care of you? Like, were they like, hey, here's money and you're good? Were you gonna be good, or did you know that? Oh shit! Like, what do I gotta do now? I gotta find a different career,
So it was.
or
a
did you
process.
just do that on your own?
Oh, it was total. It was a lengthy process.
Oh,
no,
really?
It was like, okay, so I forget what they call it. Like aid stepped in, like because I was injured, I got disability for like a year and a half. But I went from making a shit ton of money to making a fraction.
It just split it right in
and
half.
I had a mortgage. I had 2 cars. Actually, I had 2 houses.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so it was.
Fuck, they pay real good.
All right, guys. Well, this is it with me. I'm gonna become a CO. I'm gonna be beating fools down.
Life didn't stop. Life didn't stop, and I still had bills, and it was a journey.
Right,
I mean,
right.
Where I'm at today,
Right.
and where I was at, when I got injured, and the
Right.
mentality, the state of mind that I was in, completely different.
Right.
Completely different. There was times where I looked in the mirror, I was like, I ain't got shit to lose. Right. I lost everything already. I ain't got shit to lose.
Discouraged. You got a little discouraged.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that I was suffering from depression because tough me, like, oh,
Right.
no, I got
Right.
this, I got this. I was just like party mode, drinking, taking my pills. I didn't stop to think of the impact that it was really having on my life.
Damn.
Right.
But now that I have clarity, now I look back and I'm like, wow.
What was that? What was the fork in the road that made you get that clarity?
Well, hold up. Before we talk about that, let's take a little break and let's talk about what changed.
See how he always
Monique.
interrupts us?
What changed Monique?
All right, well, when we come back, we're going to talk about the fork in her road.
Yeah, let's get into
Literally
that.
the fork. Not the baton, the fork.
So we're right here with Mo. And you want to know what really grinds her gears?
When somebody hits me up on Instagram and tells me that they're the man, this and that, I want to take you out, wine you and dine you, blah, blah, blah. And in their bio, they say they're 5'7", 5'8", but then they show up 5'4", 5'5".
All right, everybody, welcome back. All right, check this out, guys. We're having a good time here.
Yes, sir.
I mean, Monique, you are amazing. Amazing.
Thank
The
you.
behind the scenes is even better. What the?
My mom. She
Oh,
tells
yeah,
me
your
that
mom and dad.
all-
Yeah, yeah.
My kids.
Yeah.
Amazing.
All the time.
Oh, awesome,
Even my granddaughter.
Where are you going, man?
Please, where's your head at?
But before we left on our break, we were talking about your story, but we also were talking about the fork in your road. Because you said you got hurt. Now you had to make changes. You were once you got hurt, you just went off. You started partying and stuff. But then you were like, wait a minute, I got to do something different. So what was that fork in your road?
Wow, I hope I don't cry. It was definitely something that stopped me in my tracks. Like obviously life as I knew it was completely different, right? I played co-ed softball, co-ed soccer. I was working in the prison. I was doing all kinds of stuff, super active, making dinner every night, taking my kids to the park, going on trips, living a life to nothing. I was on the couch.
Wow.
I was in my bed. I really never went out of my house. And I was drinking a lot of alcohol and taking meds. And so the pivotal moment was when I was watching TV with my daughter. We're watching, who knows what it was, some kind of kid show. And a commercial comes on, and she's like, Mom, you should ask your doctor, because she knew I went to the doctor. And she's like, Mom, you should ask your doctor for Cymbalta. I looked at her, and I was like, what? And she's 5 years old, right?
Right.
And she's like, yeah, the commercial says, if you're crying all the time, if you don't have any motivation, if you can't get out of bed.
Wow. And she's 5.
5.
Wow.
She's like, Mom, maybe you're suffering from depression.
Damn.
Wow.
She graduated college at this time?
Right?
Dude.
Thank you for right. So
Yeah.
So yeah, she that was like my fucking aha moment. Like,
Right.
what the fuck is
kids,
going on?
they know
like,
it's
she
everything.
called me out on my shit.
Yeah.
Right.
She called me out and she was just like, "This is what I see, Mom,
Mm-hmm.
and this is what you were, and this is what you are. So what you gonna do about it?"
Right.
And so at that moment, I was just like, "Fuck." Like I can't keep living like this. Like I thought I was fooling everybody,
Mm-hmm.
including myself. And so I was like, no, I need to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
And so the next day, maybe it was that night, because I was on fentanyl patches, I was on Norco, I was on Soma, I had a pill pack for morning, noon, and night.
Wow.
And so I was like, let me stop taking some of my medication. Maybe that will help. So I started weaning myself down. And anybody that, not just prescription drugs, but anybody that does drugs knows that you can't cut cold turkey. Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And so that's what I did, though. I stopped taking my Norco.
Right.
And before I know it, like I'm having withdrawals. And I didn't know what it was. Like my stomach started hurting. My head started hurting. I started having like cold sweats. I started like I had a fever and I was just like, I don't feel right.
Yeah.
So, I had a straight line to my doctor. I called my doctor like, hey, I'm feeling some type of way. Like, what do I do? And he's like, well, what are you doing different? I says, well, I stopped taking my Norco. I went from taking 10 a day to 4 a day. He's like, you can't do that. And I was like, but I don't want to take this no more. And then so the next day I ended up in the hospital because I was going through withdrawals.
Right.
Wow.
Like I was kicking, like seriously, like I people can die from going through withdrawals.
No, you can't,
And
yeah.
honestly, like I felt like I was
Especially if
gonna
you
die.
cut cold turkey. Yeah.
Yeah,
you
I felt
definitely-
like even though I was still on fentanyl patches, I was on so much medication. Like as I started to wean myself down, I really felt like I was gonna die.
Wow.
And so I ended up in the ER, and then I went to a follow-up appointment with my doctor, and he's like, the only way that you can get off your medication is if you go to rehab. And I'm like, okay, like shoot me the information. So I had workers' comp. So workers' comp contacted me, and they're like, okay, we found a place. And at that point, I was like, I wanted to just change my life. I wanted to get off of everything because I can't let my daughter down no more.
Right.
I can't let my son down no more. I can't let my daughter down no more. Right. And my marriage was falling apart. So I was like, I got to do something. Right. And so, I went to a 28-day live-in rehab. I packed my shit and I left my then husband and my kids for 28 days.
Wow.
And that's how I got off my medication.
Right. And then you came back, clear-minded, and what was the next step from there?
Clear-minded.
Things got a little better, right? I'm hoping it come back more fucked up. Sure, it's been 28 days. I came back way more fucked up.
Yeah.
I thought we were going up here.
Yeah, your story was about to go in. You're running back down.
No, she's like, after those 28 days, I went back for another 30.
So shit got real.
Yeah.
Shit got real. Like as I said, I was a teenage mom, right? And so what I didn't realize is my whole life I had been like hiding from who I really was because I was always like happy and this happened in one of my therapy sessions in a group therapy, and one of my counselors called me out on it. He's like, you know what I noticed? Ever since you've been here, you always smile and you laugh. He goes, I'm gonna call you out on your shit, and that's not really how you feel inside. He's like, you're broken. And I was just like, damn. And then so they started going into like my history and what happened to me as a child and all this stuff. And like, cause there was a common denominator every time something would happen in my life, like, I go out and party. For me, it was like, that's just normal. That's what we did.
Yeah, we go release
out,
that.
Party,
Yeah.
go drink,
Yeah.
And so they really wanted to understand why I was suppressing my feelings and my emotions. And so that, like I said, that's when shit got real.
Right.
And that's when I really had to deal with life.
Right.
And I was like, wow, like things aren't all peachy and fine the way that I thought they were. And so when I came out, I had a lot more clarity, but then I also had a lot more issues that I had to deal with because now like popping meds and taking or drinking alcohol was not my fix. Right. And so,
now you need new habits. Better habits.
Better habits,
Yeah.
right. So for me, it's
So
like,
to get rid of a
keep
habit,
yourself
you gotta
busy.
Get another habit.
Yeah, get another
Monique,
positive
So-
habit.
Let me ask you something. And me knowing your parents, what role did your parents play in all this? Because I know you're very close to your mom, and I know you're very close to your dad. And so, what role when this was all going on? What role did they play?
So remember, I I don't know if you know this, but I was in Visalia. I was in Central California. So I was 3.5 hours away, 4 hours away. And I maybe saw them like every other month, maybe sometimes, 2-3 times a year. And so they didn't know what was going on. They would see me and I would put on a smile.
Yeah, they thought everything was
I
all
would
right.
put up a front, like, I'm fine, I'm good, bills are paid, family's taken care of, I'm cool. And so,
You must have did a good job because you and your mom were real close.
Right. Yeah, no, me and my mom were, and I wasn't close until I got pregnant with my son, that me and my mom actually formed a bond.
Right.
But yeah, me and my mom were really close. And so as a matter of fact, when I was in rehab, I invited my dad up. And that kind of changed the dynamics of our relationship because now he had to take accountability for some of the shit, right? And so he didn't really like that. But at the same time, it's like, well, in order for me to heal, in order for me to move on with my life and do better, like we gotta.
Yeah, you're dealing with all the
truth.
issues, the things
Right.
that took place. I mean,
Right. And so I told him how I felt and why I did certain things that I did. And for me, that was my healing. Whether how he took it or not, that's on him.
Right.
But that was my healing.
That's right.
yeah, because your road, as everyone's hearing now. I mean, I'm hearing some of it. I mean, you told me before, but I'm hearing some of it now, and we're all hearing it. You've had a successful road, but then some of the tragedies happen, boom, knocked you off your horse and stuff. But there's a lot of women out there, that are struggling,
that.
and they're dealing with that
Yeah,
too.
you know what I mean?
So, but you're strong. So what are some of the things that you're grabbing onto right now that kind of, because you're a businesswoman. I mean, now that we rekindled our friendship after years, nothing was bad, but we just didn't see each other. But we were like, oh, on Facebook, hey,
Yeah.
we
We went from,
Yeah.
your
I didn't even know.
continuation school.
Yeah.
Continuation school to, you didn't know what to do to you have a cool ass story as a CEO and then you retired at 8 years after, you know what I mean? And all that led up to you having your own business and your own, no one knows that, well, we're going to put it out now, but you're a businesswoman. You're like, you're the top dog and of what you do, right? or am I wrong?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
And
so
she loves to help out people.
that's
That's
another
about it.
thing,
And
you know what I mean?
what
So
it
that's
is.
what's
And
up.
I look back and I am successful, but I don't consider myself as like a top dog or, I'm very modest in that sense.
Yeah.
However, I do recognize that what I do in the capacity that I serve, I
That's
do
right.
make a difference.
That's good.
And for me, it's more important because where I grew up, the streets that I ran, the people that I grew up with that got shot, got arrested, dealt dope, those same streets, I now run the business community.
That's
Nice.
crazy.
And so for me to look at it in that sense, it's like, okay, well, maybe I am a little successful.
That's a big
That's
accomplishment.
right. That's a huge
Yeah.
accomplishment, especially as a woman. You know what I mean? Like right now, it's a strong movement as I see it. You know what I mean? It's women are have a voice a little more. They've always had a voice, I guess you could say, but right now everybody's really pushing for like that extra step to like somebody like to be a businesswoman, successful at that. You know what I mean?
Especially having a vice president as a woman.
As a woman, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things that, you could inspire other women that are, kind of having those doubts. Like,
Right.
she came from not knowing what the hell she was going to do to bam, hey, and it clicked,
Yeah.
so
That's true.
there's no,
Good point.
sky's the limit, I guess you would say, right?
For sure. And I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Right.
I say like I kind of fell into what I do, but as Jimmy said, like I like to help people.
That's right.
And that's always what I wanted to do. As long as I can change one person's life, then I feel better.
That's
about
right.
myself,
That's right.
And so what I'm able to do is I'm able to be on a platform where I can serve others.
Right.
And I could
Nice.
really make a difference in their life. And so that's what's important to me. But it comes with challenges.
Right.
Right.
I'm a woman.
That's right.
And it's a male-dominated field that I work in for the most part. And what I always say is like, I don't just have a voice at the table, right? I have a seat at the table. I'm not just in
That's
the
what's
room, but I sit at the table where
Yeah.
decisions are being made.
Yay.
And so for me, for people to listen, because at first I was very reserved, and I thought to myself, because my mind was playing games with me, and I was like, they don't want to hear what you have to say. Your voice doesn't matter. Your opinion doesn't matter.
Right.
But it wasn't until we hit a topic, and really it was the community, and I spoke up and I says, you guys don't understand what the community needs because you don't fit that demographics. You've never lived in the community.
And you did.
So how can you tell me what they need when you're not even there?
Right.
And so that's when I was like, okay, like there's something
That's
here.
dope. That's what gives you
that's
that,
awesome. Yeah.
that bond right there. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how you understand what the people need. You know what the people need. You know what I mean? And that's good. You know what I mean? That's something that's positive, like I said. And is it cool if we let people know where you're at for women that are trying to, do something successful as being their own business or being their own manager or whatever it might be? Entrepreneur. Yeah, you know what I mean? So would it be all right to put you down there and they could DM you, slide in your
For
DMs?
sure.
You know what I mean?
Because you are
Slide
the
in
first
the
girl
DMs.
on the show.
Yeah.
Woman.
Women.
Sorry,
Women and
woman.
men,
Woman,
they
sorry.
slide in, slide through.
So my account's private, so absolutely at Momo Boogie on Instagram.
Momo Boogie.
No, really.
Are you have fans only?
What is that? I've heard about it.
Fans only.
Honestly,
You can make money.
No, I'm good. I'm good where I'm at.
She's doing good.
I'm just playing.
Unless I
She don't
get
need
laid off
fans
of
only.
my job.
See, you brought Z to take advice from this woman. She don't need fans
Yeah,
only.
no, it's just about like not giving up and
Right.
believing in yourself. And like I always say, like if you don't add value to my life, then I don't need you. And it may sound conceited, but it's not.
No, it's true.
I'm coming from a real place, and it's like if you're gonna bring drama, if you're gonna bring bullshit, if you're gonna come at me with some dumb stuff, then I don't need it in my life because I'm at that point where my kids are raised. I have a grandkid.
Trying to enjoy your life.
I have my.
You're a grandma?
Yeah, enjoy it. What's that?
She's a grandma.
She's a
Oh,
grandma.
damn. Right on.
Hey, shit.
a 20-year-old grandma.
I'm a grandma.
Grandma.
That's right. No,
I'm
that's
a
cool,
I'm
man.
the ill nana.
That's right. The ill nana. Slide in the DMs. Slide in. Just get
Get at his grandma.
at the grandma. She's like, I'm going to block this fool, block that fool. I'm going to block this chick.
No, but your story is awesome.
No, yeah, you have a
Dude,
really
your
dope
story is
background.
awesome, man. I mean, it's going to inspire a lot of people because, like I said, the stuff that you've gone through. I mean, yes, you are a first woman. I mean, we did have Kat the biker chick, but it was real quick. We were at her event. We didn't really get to know her, but just to hear your story, I know it's going to inspire a lot of women out there. And because dude, you're like we said, you're a businesswoman, you're an entrepreneur. You still got more plans. I mean,
I'm not done yet.
yeah, you're not done
No,
yet.
that's right.
You own your own house. You have your car. I mean, you're doing very well. I mean, you're my business partner as well. We're doing some stuff. Can't tell you. She doesn't want me to say so. Whatever.
So he put me on blast. But there's good things to come, most
That's right.
definitely. And now I see things from a different lens.
Nice.
Like I look at opportunities, and before I was like, oh yeah, cool, let me take that chance, or oh cool, yeah, like I just go out on a whim. But now like I step back and I'm like, okay, what is this going to do for me? Or what is it going to do for my family? And really that's not necessarily me, because I consider myself to be a selfless person. Like I look at it as, I take care of my kids and my granddaughter. And so what is this going to do for my family? Is it going to, be a positive thing, or is it going to be more energy? Because I don't have gray hairs. I don't have any wrinkles yet.
right.
And I'm not trying to get it.
No, for sure.
So like, don't
That's
stress me
good.
out. Don't stress me out.
Yeah.
What salon do you go to? You don't have any gray hairs.
No, like natural.
I need to go there. No, I was kidding.
Me too.
My
Damn.
mom
Fucking stressed the fuck out over here.
My mom
Got
didn't
white
get
hairs
gray
and
hairs until she was in her 50s.
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
So you got good genes.
I do.
Yeah.
I have good genes. My mom's a
right on.
beautiful woman, and Jimmy.
Yeah.
Don't,
That's
don't
awesome.
say it now, but I'm sure you're thinking, yes, my mom's a beautiful woman.
No, I was gonna say I that's why I think you're a strong woman, is because your mom and your dad, they're such cool people, man. I mean, I know them. I've known them for a long time, and I think that's why you're a strong woman, because
For
you
sure.
come from a strong family,
Can I
right?
say one more story?
No, go for it.
So growing up, like, my dad was always hard on me. I had an older brother, 17 months older than me, right? But he was always really, really hard on me. He always had higher expectations for me. And my first car, I was 19, had a kid. And so he's like, hey, Mo, you got your license, so you need a car. He's like, I'll sell you one. I was like, okay. And I was like, all right. So check this out. He had a 91 Toyota Camry that got stolen. And it got stripped apart, and he bought it back from the salvage yard for like $300 something bucks. So he tells me, "Hey Mo, I'll sell you the car for $2,100
With nothing on it. With nothing on it?
No, it was pieced
Businessman,
back
businessman.
together.
Oh, they put it back together.
It was
Oh,
pieced back together.
What did he
And
sell you, the shell?
he says, I'll sell it to
a
you
good
for
salesman.
$2,100, and you could pay payments. And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
My boy Shao.
Oh, my dad's hooking me
That's
up.
my boy
He's
Shao right there.
He's all, you gotta pay the insurance and pay the payments to me, and we'll call it good. And I'm like, okay. But at first I was just like, all right. But looking at it, I was like, that was pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, that's a natural boy hustler. But then I get it. Like, it all makes sense. Like, that's me.
That's right.
As much as I want to say I'm not like my dad, I'm like my dad.
Yeah, that's cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
You still got the car? No, just kidding.
It was stolen.
Again.
Hope you had full coverage.
It was stolen. I went
Yeah.
to Margarita Rocks or something like that in
Yeah.
Fullerton, and it got stolen.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But I got a 95 Nissan Maxima out of it.
That's right. Hey, there you go. That's
So any
right.
last words? Because we're gonna have to wrap it up right now. Any last words? Any encouraging words to those young ladies out there, or even women that
Yeah.
might be like, they're in their maybe late 30s or whatever, and they feel that it's done. But you just give them that quick word of encouragement.
For sure. Like, it's never too late. Like, never, ever. Never did I think that I was going to be where I'm at. I didn't have a plan. I was in my 30s getting my bachelor's and trying to figure shit out. And I told myself, what do I want to be when I grow up? And I just remember saying, like, I want to do something that is my passion and that I have purpose in doing it, right? I want to make a difference. And so as long as you have a passion, you have a purpose, and you stand behind it, like, the sky's the limit. You
Right.
can do
Exactly.
anything.
That's right.
And you just have to find something to grab onto, something that's going to motivate you, something that when times are tough, you pick your head up and you're just like, this is why I'm doing it. I'm going to keep going.
That's right.
I know you have to believe in yourself and
Right.
say, I know I can.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
So believe in yourself.
Thank you,
Touchy
Mo.
me.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate you being with us today. Appreciate you being with us today and sharing your stories. And we had some good laughs, man.
Yeah, we had a great laughs, you guys.
Thank you, guys.
So you know what, man? This is it. But thank you, and until next week, see you guys later, man.
Peace.